those are, what's the propaganda that's playing out in your mind? That's number one. And number two is, what information as a result of the propaganda are you censoring? So our minds are really, really interesting, funny little things. And it's been estimated by neuroscientists and by a number of studies that about 95% of the thoughts that we have are at the subconscious level. So what does that mean? Subconscious. That is not our cognitive thinking brain here that says, hi, I'm Lynn. I know what day it is. I know what time it is. I know where I'm sitting in space. This is the part of us that is running programs underneath. We can almost think about it as the programs that are running underneath in our mind. And these subconscious programs do get set at quite a young age. So that brings me to the propaganda. We form beliefs, and we typically form them at a fairly young age. And a lot of our, family units, we adopt beliefs from our families at these very young ages. So this propaganda, we form beliefs, and they could be really debilitating beliefs that are holding you back from feeling great, from taking risks, from achieving what you want to achieve, be it in career or in relationships or in health. So, you really got to sit down and ask yourself, what is the propaganda? What are those unconscious, subconscious programs that are running? Those beliefs that I have about myself. I mean, I'll give you a good example. I, have dealt with somebody who, at a very young age, she loved to write, loved writing. And, I think she was about 6 or 7, and her older sister laughed at a letter that she wrote because she had spelling errors in it. This is back in the day before the spell check, so this was handwritten. Anyway, she felt such a sense of shame and embarrassment. And for any of us younger siblings out there, we know how important it is often when we're young and impressionable to have our older siblings, like us. So just that one act of her older sister making fun of her for having spelling errors, she adopted a subconscious belief. Propaganda started running rampant in her head that she couldn't write, that she was stupid, that she didn't know how to spell, and that she was never writing again because she didn't want to suffer that embarrassment. So that was a very age-appropriate response. When we're young and we don't know how to emotionally regulate ourselves, we will do things like protect ourselves from future harm, from future embarrassment. A lot of people too who have issues with weight, often people have been had unwanted sexual advances or abuse at young ages, and that extra weight was developed as a protection mechanism to either deter attention or somehow insulate them. So we can form these very age-appropriate coping mechanisms, but these are beliefs, and they can really stand in the way of us when we're adults. So you got to ask yourself, what is the propaganda that's running rampant in my head? So I deal with, executives and professionals around stress management, performance anxiety, and a big one with performance anxiety, this is a great one, is the fear of public speaking and the fear of presenting. Again, often people with this fear of feeling humiliated in a public setting, something may have happened when they were young where they said a word wrong in the class and somebody laughed at them. Like this kind of stuff gets laid down really early, often, and very young in age, and then it sticks. And that's one of these subconscious, unconscious beliefs that are just running. And then people will behave in accordance with their beliefs, because this propaganda, these subconscious, unconscious beliefs, They will run, and then they will inform how we conduct ourselves later in life. So if you want to be comfortable public speaking, if you want to write, even though you know you have this running belief that you can't write, you have to ask yourself, what are you censoring in your mind? Like, you'll get these beliefs, it's the propaganda that runs and runs and runs and runs, but then often we'll block out what's really true. Like, is it really true as a 60-something-year-old adult that you shouldn't be writing because you made some spelling errors? It just, on its face, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. But these beliefs will hold us back. And so we got to look at the propaganda. We got to look at what we're censoring out. Ask ourselves, is it really true? So if you think about a fear of presenting or a fear of public speaking, ask yourself the question, or even just the fear of speaking up in a meeting, presenting ideas that you have, sharing ideas. Many people are uncomfortable with this. And it's this ongoing belief that they're somehow less than, stupid, will be ridiculed, won't be part of the group. And we need to figure out how to unroot those. So ask yourselves, what programs are running? What's the propaganda that's playing? And one good exercise to do that is just to sit in a room with a pad of paper and a pen. Very important, don't type, hand write. And just let yourself write and any thought that comes to mind. And do this for about 10 minutes or so, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And you'll start to see what programs, what propaganda is playing in there. That's really helpful to help identify. And then face the censorship in your mind. What aren't you letting in there that could be true? You know, so many skills can be practiced and mastered and acquired and worked on. And you know what? It does amazing things for you when you take on new challenges and when you stop the censorship and say no to the propaganda that's running, and you decide that, no, I want to do this. This is who I want to be. This is how I want to feel. This is who I want to become. So, you know, really rapid ways to get there. First of all, identify what are those programs that are playing? What's the propaganda that's playing? What are you filtering out that may not be true? Where's the censorship coming in? And then the best ways to reprogram yourself are act. So act and do those things that you feel uncomfortable doing, that you feel you want to try. And two other great ways are repetition as well as hypnotic reprogramming. You can access and change your fundamental core belief structure, which then in turn will impact how you see yourself in the world, how you behave in the world, what you do, how you treat yourself. So, you know, with the way I work with clients, we look at those limiting beliefs, we extract them, we lay down a new track. People listen to a recording for 21 days to really wire that in. So, you know, there's so much that we can change at any age. Our beliefs are ours to change, absolutely. And so you can do away with the propaganda that's not serving you, get rid of the censor in there, and have the experience that you'd like to have. So have a great day.